Greetings out there. It is Dave Duford at Final Expense Agent Mentor at feagentmentor.com, and today I am presenting and offering a new program I'm making available to both my internal mentorship agents as well as the general Final Expense public. And what that is exciting new program for Final Expense appointment setting services. And this presentation is going to go into detail about how that works, what the process is for setting them up, and giving you all the details to make a decision if appointment setting is right for you. So let's go ahead and get started with it. So first thing here, we're going to talk about who I am, a little bit about Final Expense Agent Mentor, and then go into detail about why outsourcing final expense appointment may or may not be a good idea for your final expense business. We'll go into how my program works, how it may be a little different than what you've seen if you've ever looked at any, and then some final action steps to get started with the mentorship programs, appointment setting services, and again, whether or not you're an agent, and some frequently asked questions that you may have at the end. So a little bit about me if you've never met me. My name is David Duford. I am the owner and operator of Final Expense Agent Mentor. My website's feagentmentor.com. I've been specializing in the final expense business since 2011. I've trained agents and mentored them since 2013. And what I do that's different than a lot of agencies is that I focus exclusively on developing agents new to final expense with focus on support, personal training, and with an overall mentality of focusing on independence as a way to success in this business and not captivity or the traditional multi-level marketing approach. The best way to learn more about what I do is just to simply go to my website and check out all my free information. I've got tons of videos, tons of articles. If you're just looking for more information on final expense, it's an excellent resource and a great way to start off. It's, again, www.feagentmentor.com. Just start browsing around. You won't believe all the stuff that I've got out there completely for free. And it's a great way to learn more about this business and to see if it's right for you. Now, why would you outsource final expense appointment setting services? Now, I have no other reason and no other way to describe it except the biggest reason is that for most people, calling for appointments simply sucks. If you're one of the guys, and I admit I am one of them, that does not like to be on the phone, that just seems to struggle setting appointments on the phone, and you just hate doing it, as much as I can tell you till I'm red in the face that you're probably still going to do better than most appointment setters, which we'll go into that a little bit later, and setting your own appointments. If you just don't feel good about doing it, as I say here, if you can't beat them, join them. Meaning in this case, you might as well just outsource the activity and then focus on the second biggest reason, which is to spend more time in front of people and selling them. This is the second biggest reason that you use an appointment setting services. Not just because you hate doing it, but there's also a logical justification to leverage your time and money better. What I mean by that is this. With the time that it takes to normally set appointments, generally speaking, you need to set aside time in the evening, sometime in the morning to call if you want a very booked, solid day. Now that you have that time freely available, you can go do other things, whether it's spend more time at home, spend more time selling even. You can easily do this and outsource this activity to somebody else who is competent and understands the process. And more time that you have will lead you to more appointments, which ultimately leads you to more sales. And it also allows you to focus on door knocking of those leads that don't answer the phone for anybody. Again, it allows you to focus on ideally knocking doors on those people that are the hardest to reach over the phone anyway. So again, the overall benefit to using an appointment setter is it's a cheap and effective way to outsource an activity that will maximize your return on investment and also minimize the rejection issue. And again, nobody likes to admit it, but we all get upset when somebody rejects us, whether it's in person or over the phone, and it messes with our psyche. And again, you can't beat them, join them. Get out of the way. Let somebody else do it, and spend more of your time doing what is the most productive use of your effort, which for most people is setting up an approach to do more presentations. Again, I've done it this way since the beginning. It doesn't mean I'm a bad agent or I couldn't do it over the phone. For me, it's always been a way to justify, hey man, I can run more appointments and make more money. And somebody who has a decent level of skill can go out there and book me up, and I'll go find the rest that don't answer the phone. So let me show you how my program works, because it's a little different. It may not make sense for you. And the way that I operate, again, if you've never talked to me or dealt with me personally, I am completely transparent about how things work from start to finish. And if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. At least you know all the facts, can make that determination for yourself. So with the group that I work with, it's an admittedly weird schedule. If you read here, appointment setters only call for next day appointments. That's good, and that should be normal. But the only days that they have availability for appointments are between Wednesday and Saturday. What that means is that you can only set appointments with these people Wednesday through Saturday. So those are the days you would actually be in the field. Now, you have full control which days and times you want appointments. If you want them on the hour, you want them every 2 hours, you only want to work Wednesday through Thursday, or you want to work all 4 days, or whatever. That's totally within your discretion to do. But the important thing to understand is they do not set appointments on Monday nor Tuesday. This group that I partnered with has their schedule set up specifically just like this for this reason. So again, yes, it's strange, but that's just the way they do it. You can do plenty between Wednesday and Friday if that's all you want to do and you don't want to work Saturdays. Now, there are lead minimums, very important. The biggest complaints that appointment setters have is that they don't get enough leads, or they're working a bunch of old age leads. So what we've decided in this program is that if you are chosen and selected and approved to do this program, you must provide us at least 20 fresh leads weekly. And that can be either direct mail leads or avatar leads that I sell. It doesn't matter the type, but most important, it has to be fresh. If you do not provide fresh leads, we cannot provide you appointment setting. Providing fresh leads gives us the best outcomes for you. So that's why we have this minimum. It's just a best practice for everybody involved. You manage your leads and your schedule. Here's what I mean. You're 100% responsible for uploading lead information and schedule information in the shared spreadsheet for the appointment setter to use. The appointment setter does not manage your spreadsheet. And I'll go into detail a little bit later about why that is. But your job is to basically share this information. They'll set up a spreadsheet and a calendar that you can share which days you're going to be free, which days and times that you would like them to call to set appointments for, and then also the leads themselves. It's your job to provide and upload that information for them. Their job is to simply set. Here's how appointment setting payment generally works, and we're going to go into the two most common methods to pay for appointment setting. There's no right or wrong method, but there's a method that we definitely do, and we want to make sure that you understand the pros and the cons of it. So the first method is the pay for all appointments. So that means no matter what set, you pay for them, even the ones that no-show you. The second method is you pay for all kept appointments and not for no-shows, meaning if you get no-showed by X amount of appointments, you don't pay for X amount of appointments. You only pay for the ones that show up. Now, there's always a discrepancy between what is charged for the ones you pay for all the appointments versus the ones that you pay for only the kept appointments. The bottom line is that the kept appointments are always charged more than for the ones that you pay for every appointment. It's kind of cooked into the price that there's going to be no-shows. So even though you're not paying for them, you kind of are if you compare to the lower price of the all appointments approach. Ultimately, it all pretty much evens out if you work with a quality appointment setter. There's not any sort of leverage one has over the other. I've always worked, for full discretion, with a pay for kept appointments approach. Well, I take that back. I've worked with one over the years, for about a year, who did it for all that actually booked. And I can tell you, either way works just fine. As long as the person does their job, you're going to be happy. You're going to be disappointed if half of them no-show, whether you pay for all of them or you don't. And so, bottom line, if they're good and you're getting a good predictable show ratio, then you'll be fine. Either way it comes out, you about pay for the same. We're going to go into the math of that in a second just to kind of further clarify that. In our appointment setting services, the way that we set it up is that we charge you for every appointment that's set, regardless whether or not they show up. Period. End of story. So understand, with us, we charge you for every single appointment set. Period. Now, what's the pricing like for our final expense appointment setting? So first of all, our pricing is extremely competitive to others in that we charge $13 for appointment set. If you're an agent of mine, we only charge you for $11 appointment. We require a $100 deposit to secure your spot, payable up front before you even start the program. This deposit is used towards your last payment if you opt to stop, or if you do not pay according to the regular scheduled time. If you don't pay at the exact time, then that $100 deposit will be taken and charged towards what's due, and we shut you off from the program. We're very strict about how we set up payment and how the payment process is to be respected. Your total appointments will be invoiced weekly in the morning and on Monday, very first thing in the morning, and you are required to pay your invoice in full by 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday to keep your appointment setting services intact. And just like I said, otherwise, if you do not, you will be terminated and your deposit is forfeited. We collect this fee, just so you understand, because we have run into issues with agents who skip town and who are deadbeats. We have no interest at all in working with deadbeats. We want to work with agents who respect and understand that the appointment setting people put a risk up front in doing the work before they get paid. The $100 deposit shows us you're serious and that you're interested and concerned about wanting to do business and understand the risk that we take. Either way, bottom line is it's applied towards your bill if you decide to stop. If it's not, if you keep going, then we'll keep that aside. But if you get to the point where you stop, we just apply that and shake hands and we're done. Pretty simple process. Now, some frequently asked questions. Let's go ahead and cover those. First of all, first question is, I'm ready to proceed. How can we start? So usually it takes about a week to set you up the following week, to be specific. So let's say it's Monday today and you said, I want to get started. We'll put you on schedules to start the following week. That way we can assign and set up appointment setters specific to your account so that we know exactly what to expect and there's enough time to plan ahead of time. Second question here is, how will I be able to share my leads and see my schedule? Your appointment setting services will go ahead and create a shared Google spreadsheet and a calendar. This is all updated live as it is being updated. So the great thing is that you'll have this link and you'll be able to see your calendar, and that calendar will be updated live as the appointments are set. So it'll be very easy to see the status of where things are. You'll be able to print that at the end of the day or the beginning of the following day and just go ahead and use that as your schedule. And then the information about your leads, the numbers to call and the addresses, you'll be able to upload all that via a shared Google spreadsheet. If you've never used them before, don't worry at all. It's so simple. It's just super easy. You'll have full access. We'll send you a link. You'll be able to do all this in real time and see it in real time and then use it at your leisure when ready. Third question here is, what happens if I want to suspend my appointment setting services? Not a problem. At any point that you desire to stop your leads, or stop your appointment setting service, we just stop it right away. No hassle, no frustrations, nothing like that. We just go ahead and suspend the service. It's that simple. And you just contact me directly. Question number 4 is, what if I get a lot of no-shows? Wouldn't it be better to pay on a kept appointment basis? So let's kind of do some math here. That's a good question to ask, and might as well just take care of it up front. The bottom line is, appointment setting, generally speaking, you're going to have about 3 out of 4 actually show up. So 1 out of 4 no-shows you. Again, it can vary wildly. I can have weeks, even as a producer myself, where I only see half. I've had other weeks where I see 90%. It generally averages out over the long haul about 75%, maybe 80%. But if we use a 75% show ratio, below this in bullet point 2, If you got 10 appointments that were charged for $13 appointment, that's a $130 charge that you'll realize. If you have 10 appointments booked, and again, on average, 2.5 don't show up, so I just use the average for this. So it's read 7.5 appointments. But you're charged for those that actually show up. Again, this is reflective of the average. Then you're going to have a $135 charge. Again, $5 difference, not a big difference, but the point in the matter is this is the mathematical reasoning to back up the fact that this stuff isn't going to make a big difference. Either method is interchangeable as long as you have a good appointment setting ratio that's sustained. And bottom line, look, at the end of the day, if this doesn't work out with you, you're not signing a blood contract. I'm not obligating you for the rest of your life. If you find you don't like the results after a week or two, then you can always just ask us to stop charging you and stop booking appointments for it. It's a very simple process. And so that's how we do it. It's very upfront, very straightforward. Most people like this approach because the leads are cheap, appointments are cheaper this way, and bottom line, as long as we do our job, you'll be happy. Question 5 here is, what is the percentage of leads that will book appointments? This is really important that you understand this, and this goes back to what I talked about in the very beginning. The bottom line is there's nobody, and I mean nobody, that's going to do as good a job with appointment setting as you will, okay? Even if you're mediocre on the phone and you're not a killer barracuda appointment setter, you should be setting about close to 50% of your own appointments, okay? Because you've got a knowledge base. You should have a level of confidence that those who don't won't have. And this brings me to my point. How many will your appointment setter book? I'm happy if it's anywhere above 40% of total leads submitted. So if you get 20 leads sent to your appointment setter, she should book at least 8 appointments. It may be more, it may be less. A lot of it depends on the area. Some areas are just very tough for appointment setting. But 40% is a good number. You should not be upset at all. And remember, again, if this is surprising to you, you should understand that the bottom line is you're never, ever going to get anybody to set appointments better than yourself. And, part of this outsourcing process is to take the good with the bad. The good being you don't ever have to set appointments anymore. The bad being is they're not going to set some that you won't. However, on the flip side, it does afford you a lot more time to even go see those people that maybe rejected her on the phone. Maybe she didn't handle an objection as well as you did because she doesn't have your knowledge base. But hey, at the end of the day, there's nothing stopping you by stopping by and acting like they never talked to you because they didn't. And you can just try to get an appointment that way. So just food for thought. Again, you got to accept the good with the bad. Know which one's going to be best for you and understand all that's going to be part of the process. So what are the action steps to getting started on the appointment setting program? So number 1, go to the website if you're not there already. That's feagentmentor.com, final-expense-appointment-setter. And you'll scroll down, you'll see these videos. Below that, you'll see PayPal links. This PayPal link will set you up to pay your $100 deposit, okay? You'll pay your $100 deposit to me. I'll get notification of it. And then once the payment is completed, you'll be directed to my website where you download and complete the document linked in the web page. And basically, that document linked in the web page discusses this presentation. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave a comment in the comment box on this web page that you found this video, or down here in the comments box on the video itself. And I'll be happy to help you out with anything or any questions you may have. I want to thank you so much for listening to this and hope you have a great day.